So I'll be the first to admit that I'm a weird dude. I know, I experience it, I feel different than the way people look. I feel like there's another spirit that's has been with me from birth, and I've been in my head a lot. I've learned what it is, and how I've learned how my brain functions. And I've learned that there's two sides of me. There's two sides of everybody, really. But some people can balance it out better. They'll have that good side where it's just a consistent, normal kind of everyday thing. Things are kosher. My life has been different. I've always felt attacked, even if it was just me attacking myself in my own head. I've always felt attacked. And in learning about this secret corporation that does certain things to you, when everything is coming at you, coming here, coming there, going there, pulling there, door dashing this way, it's a way of getting you to feel like you're being attacked all the time. It's not like I wasn't attacked on YouTube. I hopped into this platform as a weird dude with no social skills whatsoever, because I just basically kept to myself. That I have a small group of people that I talk to, and basically it's just my immediate family, really. And so that's how my mindset has been growing up. And it's not like I'm bored by myself. It's not like it's a problem being by myself. But I remember growing up being that person that's just quiet, hanging out, observing the scenery. And it's like people would always come up to me, "Robin, what's wrong with you?" "Huh? What do you mean?" "Nothing's wrong with me." "Why has it got to be something wrong with me?" "Well, you're not talking." The fuck is it? Why do I have to talk? It's like the pressure of society. You got to do certain things or you're just not normal. All right, I'm not normal. I never said I was normal. The things that I do are just so abstractly abnormal that people look and feel and observe me and perceive in a way that's like God, it's so unusual what he is doing. But I agree, it is. So there, just want to make it clear, I am an unusual person. But I know that in the future there's a time period coming, and it's just going to benefit everybody on the entire planet, everybody that has ever known me, especially family. Because the weirdest thing about Robin, the brother or the son or the Uncle Robin. Something about Uncle Robin is I've always worked hard. I'm self-motivated. When I went to school as a carpenter, I got a free education. It was awesome. That was God taking care of me. But I had to go through something in order to get the free education. You see, I could have went to high school for 4 years and then go to the trade school for 2 years, but I kind of like skipped right by it. I didn't go to the high school. I just went to an 8-month juvenile facility to get my GED, and then that did it. So I didn't have to go to high school for 4 years, but I didn't develop any, high school. Everybody goes to high school. Not Robin. Nope. Not that weird dude over there. Why didn't you go to high school, Rob? Well, because when I was 14, I was stealing cars and I got locked up. And then I ran after a month and a half. And I couldn't go to school. Because if I did, they would know where I was at and they would come get me and lock me back up. So the school records, see, that person pulled up more than it should have. They had my records at Slayton Farms in Lima, PA. So I couldn't go to school. And then I finally got locked up at 16, turning 17. At the same exact place. I was so surprised they took me back. Because I ran from there. There was no gate, no fences, just cornfields. And yeah, I got away. My mom helped me out. My brother. Yum yum. Hey, they were there. They helped me. So anyway, I was on the run for a couple years. I didn't go to school. I was a loser. Just stealing stuff, car radios. And then when I finally got locked up, see, even this person here is that not an unusual cut? It's an unusual cut, right? Exactly. Anything to get your attention. Satan is just, look at Steve. Anything to get my attention. Negative, positive, it's just anything. He can love me, he can hate me, threats, it doesn't matter. That's why I know something's coming. Because I am going somewhere that I've never went before. Because at this point, something needs to give. I'm just so tired of the same old shit. But not everybody is. Most people are. Most people just aren't fortunate. And I don't know. Why do I feel for people? Why do I care? In all likelihood, the majority of everybody on the planet is controlled by that application, the COP app, that's affiliated with surveillance. And so you have that, but you know what? That's your job. Some people, it's just their 8 hours a day job, right? Just like I have a job. 8 hours or whatever. Doing something I don't feel like doing though. You guys probably get paid better, and it's an easier job. All you got to do is just watch me. I mean, it takes up your time, but what else are you doing? You get paid to watch me? I know a bunch of people defeated their own enemies because of me, and you know why? Because I was the beating post for them to get that aggression out. And then to watch how I handled it. And that's why I wanted to get a good collage of Matthew crucifying me on the YouTube platform. No, it's not Jesus Christ being crucified, but it was Robin Henry Tees being crucified. And this is the modern version of what it was like when your perception of what happened with Christ on a literal cross, well, can you imagine if, all right, so back in the day, there really was electronics and technology, and it was the same as it was now. But they're not saying it in the Bible, but there's verses that imply we're talking about today, which is modern. So when you look at it, even if you look at it as, all right, well, the Bible, even if it was modern, the language is still talking about how it was. So imagine it was a YouTube type of a platform, and that was a crucifixion. And I didn't even know I was being crucified by the top guy because he was lying and saying he's not an agent. Just like everybody else was. Everybody was lying. So I'm being crucified by Matty Yahoo, and I can tell he was damn good at his job. He even said, you don't even know what I do beyond YouTube. This is like easy for me. Before he met me, he's like, this is easy for me. Before this, I could do anything I want in this entire world. All right, well, okay, so you have access. Awesome. I'm going to get that same access. That's what I'm striving for, to get that access. But, so, if you look at the Bible, no matter what, it's written by the elite. They're the ones that wrote it. It's their story. They have their Jesus. They're playing it out now in the end times. If you want to believe in it from the past, that a Jesus, a Christ spirit, someone that would die for you, that's fine, because I believed it most of my life too. Now I just see it more as the Christ spirit is today. The rising. This is the rising of it. And it happens behind the scenes through the people that run the entire system. And I'm weird enough to just tell you, I know who they are. I know what it sounds like. I know. But that's the truth. It's my heart. It's what I believe. And I've shown enough evidence that it's at least somewhere along those lines. Unless Derek Rose is lying about being a Hollywood producer, director, movie film, working close with Gooding Jr., his personal manager, unless that was all a lie, but I don't think any of that was. That's just what he was doing. For him to say that I do interesting work and I've discovered some very realistic things, I still couldn't tell you who Inky, Enlil, Enoch, and Elijah really are in the script world, but I can tell you the four people that can juxtapositions. And isn't that the most important thing, that I found the family? As John would say from Denver, the siblings. I think that's the most important part, that I at least found the siblings. Now, confusion is all throughout. At some point, I'll know the absolute truth. But in the meantime, I have to go through my trials and tribulations and just do things I've never done before. Like go meet the person that I believe has the title of Satan on earth. So, okay, I've been looking to meet you anyway. From the beginning of my YouTube career, I was looking to meet you because I was so tired of the media and it lying to me. And then I found somebody that on the YouTube platform started lying about me, bold-faced lying. But that was after all of the agents came in my direction. See, Steve didn't lie about me until after a year and probably 3 or 4 months of me being up on YouTube. Then he started lying only because I didn't believe him anymore. I didn't believe he was the Messiah coming, that Harold Camping was announcing. I believed more that it was the spirit and it wasn't a person. It was the spirit that started back then. But yeah, people continue that same spirit. And I think I was one of the few that kept Harold Camping in remembrance. And that's one of the things Matty Yahoo came against me with, saying, well, he's dead. I know that 2 Peter 3:8 says something along those lines. Or 2 Peter 3, chapter 3, somewhere in that chapter, it talks about, for since the fathers have fell asleep, and all things are like the same, I'm paraphrasing, and you say, where is the promise of his coming? Because Harold Camping fell asleep. And there'll be mocking and scoffing in the last days. I came in letting people know, reminding them about Harold Camping in May 21st, 5:21. And then that Revelation 12 sign that seems to be important to the elite happened in September 23rd, 2017. They went by that. The sign in the heavens, which is the woman clothed with the sun. The moon is under her feet, so I've interpreted that as Lucifer is under her. She's clothed with the sun, which is the Son of God. She has 12 stars above her head, which are the 12 tribes, and she's the 13th. But Judas was also the 13th, and Paul was also the 13th, and the entire script is played out, and there they all are, the 13, the apostles and Jesus and Christ Jesus. So back in September 23rd, 2017, you can Google it, it's Revelation 12 science, a pretty big deal for the Bible prophecy people. And the nation of Israel becoming a nation again, May 14th, 2018, which was the 70th year, and I showed up a year before that. And then I was crucified before the 70th year of the nation of Israel becoming a nation again. I was crucified by Matthew daily. I was being crucified daily because I was picking up my cross. I did a couple literal examples of picking up my cross because I built one, and it pissed off some people. It pissed off the female side of Mattiyahu. Ashley, as he was pointing to himself, because I know how people get behind masks and faces and the different voices. And then it pissed off Jerry from A Light of Truth, and he was again, it's like a Pharisee that they knew the Bible inside and out. All these people that came in my direction on YouTube knew the Bible inside and out. And Stephen James warned me about Jerry from A Light of Truth and Derek from Galapa. What? Truth? He said it. You know, they know their scripture. Matthew, the tax collector who was crucifying me on my 11th month and first day since I started YouTube. And he had 111 subscribers that day. And he was crucifying me with words. Modern day crucifixion. That's what it is. It doesn't mean I'm Jesus being crucified. It means that is what Christ went through. The same thing. And everybody thinks that he was literally nailed to the cross because of the interpretation of how the government pushes the interpretation to the churches, church and state, in order for them to get rich as hell. Keep pushing this, keep pushing that, you'll be rich. Well, your time is coming to an end because the tables are being flipped over as we speak. It takes time for it, though. It's a slow turning. Again, the interpretation of it as if it was a one-day thing, as if Christ was crucified one day only. He told you he was picking up his cross, and he was being crucified daily. Because that's what'll happen if you pick up your cross. All he was doing was showing you how to pick it up. I learned how to pick up a cross. I went to school for carpentry. I built the cross and literally picked it up and did a couple videos with it. One of them was a joking one. The other one I was pretty irritated at the Gangstalk Corporation, but I needed to demonstrate that. And I did, because I stick up for Christ. I stick up for that spirit. I know what that spirit is. There is no, well, you don't know good or evil in my mind. Of course I do. Yous all do. It's just people choose evil more. Some people are even keeled. They're just good people. You got the law of God written in your heart. That's all that matters. You don't need to know a damn lick of the Bible. And if you don't know a lick of the Bible, then the society will make you feel like you need to in order to be saved. Saved from what? Hell? No, we're here. Don't you know this is hell? God's world would not be where you have to work for pieces of paper, do shit you don't feel like doing at all until you die, and hopefully you can retire. You know, not everybody can do that. This is not God's world. This is hell. It's hell, and Satan's here, and he's running the show. And I'm going to meet him. Even if it's not Steve, I'm going to meet you afterwards. So you think we're on a plane where we're going to burn if we don't cooperate. With basically believing the false interpretation of the Bible, believing it. If you don't believe it, you're damned. You're condemned. You're gonna die. You're gonna burn. You're gonna go to hell. Well, what if they lied to us the entire time, and they know that this is hell because they're the ones that created this planet? It's Satan's backyard. So, because this is Satan's backyard, doesn't that make it hell? But it's also God's footstool. Yeah, well, what God are you talking about? Satan? Because he puts himself on the throne, puts himself above God, and calls himself God. And then he's the one in charge of the crucifixion of Christ. He's the one that's in charge of sending the people. And that's what happened with the YouTube platform. So that's where I've been with this, showing you from the past the strategic plan that was set up. And I was so dumb. I had no clue that they were crucifying me, that it was planned for my 11th month and first day. I had no idea. And I didn't even know that I showed up 11 years and 11 months, 11 days after YouTube created their first video. I didn't even realize I did a 1 minute and 11 second video on my first video. And then I'm crucified 11 months and 1 day later by Matthew Daly, who was already crucifying me daily, who had 111 subscribers that same day. I mean, come on. Can't even make this shit up. I had a couple other videos up. Somehow they were transferred to YouTube, but I didn't upload them to YouTube because I had my first video at 4/2/2017. And then, as I'm coming in announcing 5/21, May 21st, Harold Camping's world, the end of the world, the judgment day starting 5 months later, the end of the world. But on 5/21, when I showed up after the 11th month, the 11th year and 11th day, making a 1 minute and 11 second video, after, I forgot what my point was. After I showed up on that day, yeah, I don't know. I just didn't know that the number one would be so prevalent. It's like sometimes that's why I just push record, because there's a flow of thoughts. If I don't catch it, it's gonna. It's like that car. That thought I had, it was like that car. It's gone. But I felt like it was a real good one to get. But I always feel that way. That's why I keep pushing the record button. I got to get this out of my head. All this weirdness. Can you imagine if I kept all this in? I'd be even more weirder. At least I get it out. But the point I'm making is that they're lying to us about everything. Even the sky itself. Like, what do you mean? That's a cloud? I mean, I've spent some time looking at the sky and the artwork in it. And I thought I knew what clouds. I thought there used to be real clouds and then fake ones, and it's not that they're fake. They're really clouds, but it's not from God, the Spirit in heaven, that just created things out of random thin air. That's not who it is. That's planned, that sky. They can turn that sky dark. They can flip any scenery they want up there. How do I know? Because I did a video about the sky opening and closing 7 months after I started YouTube, and it got 500,000 views. That's how I know. It's credibility It's, holy shit, yo, this dude knows that the sky's a hologram. Here, send it to your other CIA agent, government official that knows exactly what I just said is true. So they're the ones that got the views. The Walmart video, it was my discernment in November 4th it was, in 2017. So over 5 years ago. That's at 3.2 million views just generated out of the thin air because I felt like going in spotting security guards. Why would it get so many views? Because it's true. Well, it sure doesn't seem true. Look at all the people in the comment section, Robin. There's you got 50,000 comments, and 49,900 of them all said that you're on meth, crack, smoking dope, and you're just paranoid. Well, I know, because that's what Satan does. He sends his people to discredit the truth. I know it. You can't stop me. You're not going to stop me. And, well, I mean, Lord willing, Baal willing, wherever I go, I'm not going to be stopped. But, travel is a different story. I'm talking about stopped speaking. Unless death. It's either death. It's not going to be a bribe. I'm not taking a bribe to shut up. But it's either death that shuts my mouth on this YouTube platform, or my work is done. It's finished. There's a certain period of time where enough's enough already. I'm tired of talking. I'm 5 years and about 7 months into a 7-year plan. I don't know. I mean, God rested on the 7th day. After the 6th day. So after 6 years, a day is a year is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as 1 day. So don't be ignorant of that, because it all ties together with being years. So in 6 years, being crucified was actually kind of fun when I look back on it. I was rocking out on my guitar. So imagine it. Just imagine if this was the actual truth about your perception of Jesus Christ, who was crucified. The way the Bible says it, explains it, like a Shakespeare movie, words. The way the Bible is written, like Shakespeare wrote it. And the way movies are made, you can say the same exact thing, the same word, and it has two different meanings. Just like, for an example, that is stupid dope. Huh? Stupid dope. You calling me a stupid dope? No, that's the car. That car is stupid dope. It makes no sense as a compliment. But that's the good part of it. That's my interpretation. The stupid dope, you think it's an insult. No. It's that thing is bad. Huh? So it's not good? No, that is one nice, very good paint job. That thing is bad. You just said it's good and bad. Are you double-minded? You double speak? No, it's just the interpretation of words. That's why when you type words, sometimes people misinterpret because they don't hear your tone of voice. Your tone of voice is everything, along with your interpretation. You can interpret something, but your tone of voice may not emphasize the meaning of it. That's why I slow things down in my videos. When I want to stress something, you're not going to catch it unless I slow it down. As soon as I slow it down, it draws your attention to it. That's the Masonic language. Draws your attention to the word, and then now I'm giving you something to think about. Well, wait a minute, what does that mean? 9 times out of 10, the people I'm showing it to knows exactly what it means. And they're the ones that run the planet. It's the weirdest thing. I get to experience it, record it, go through it, get crucified for it, pick up my cross daily, and rise from the dead. when there's no spirit inside of the YouTube platform that is very godly, then my job was to hop in there and rise from the dead, the spiritual dead. Again, that's why, so interpretation. Why do you think people don't believe in Jesus Christ? Because they think he literally rose from the dead after being brutally beaten to piss, and then he had like a new body. And we all know nobody can literally walk on water, but if you understand water is also people, nations, multitudes, and tongues, you're walking on it, above it. Kanye can walk on clear plexiglass installed underneath that lake all he wants. Ain't fooling anybody. Many false prophets. Ahab and Jezebel. Ahab and Jezebel. Jezebel. I wonder who Jezebel is in this system. I have my opinions, my thoughts. But Ahab was the king. He was just letting Jezebel keep going as if he didn't have control of her or something. As if he was a puppet. You know, Ahab's the first one that the dogs licked his blood. And then Jezebel dies in the same field that Ahab got so he can plant some vegetables or something from somebody that wasn't looking to sell the land. But Jezebel said, "You're the king. Here, get out, go eat, get up. I'll go kill this guy, and then you'll have his land here." And that's what she did. And Ahab took the vineyard. Yep, so took the piece of property. And I think Elijah was supposed to go to Ahab and tell him that. Like, this is the Lord, thus says the Lord. Didn't you murder somebody for that property or something like that? So, I mean, I could be wasting my time. I could be wasting all my time. I don't know why so many people are listening to me, though, if I am. And that's one of the reasons why I've learned. Oh, no, Robin. No. They are lying. They are lying to you, Robin. They just told you that wasn't a DoorDasher. Oh, yeah? Well, my keen Robin Batman tingly senses tells me that unusual behavior, it's unusual only because it's planned that way. Yes, I would bet my life that if I'm wrong, strike me down with lightning, Baal, the same God that the 450 false prophets were calling to bring down fire from heaven. I would bet my life that that person was DoorDashing me. That's the meaning of DoorDashing. It's not just delivering food. I know Satan's language. He makes it to where you're literally doing DoorDashing as well. As you're delivering food to someone's door, you're gonna dash at as many targets as you can. I guess it's like a points game system. But how do they know you're actually dashing at the door? How does the car know? I don't know. I see the unseen realm of this world, and I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. And I'm telling you at some point, it'll finally be publicly announced. These people are going to stop lying about me. So when you got Stephen James over there lying about me, non-stop, lying, I'm the only person he's focused on. Well, what if he was the Antichrist in the Bible? What if he was the beast in the Bible? What if his head was wounded? What if I'm the one that wounded it? And who knows? He could be a half good guy and not 100% evil anymore. He could be halfway good. And I'm the one that created the halfway good in him, so guess who benefits from it? That's right, the creator. The one who created that new emotion inside of someone's heart that they never had before. And they can do whatever they want in this world. And you get to commune with people behind the scenes and show them the same things I'm showing you, and you guys get to enjoy all that together, and I'm by myself down here. I know 7,000 people didn't bail their knees to bail or something like that, but it's still lonely until it's publicly announced, recognized, and here we go. Let's do this public ministry of mine. I'm looking to do something public now. I'm tired of the private people lying about me or not saying exactly who they're talking directly to. Well, yeah, I guess that's why Jeffrey Doherty wants me to talk to him. I will, Jeff. Just relax. I'm one thing at a time here. I need to. Things definitely have to change, and I don't even know you, so I don't even know why you'd want to talk to me. Besides the fact that you may be Stephen James behind the mask, you may or live at his house. You may. Not his actual house, but you get what I'm saying. Yous are all part of it, together at least. Definitely you and Steve are very good buddies. I even said yous are very similar, and that's also what Kim Jean was letting me know, that I was on the right track. And that's what I love about this church. So far, it's just spirit and basically private. I'm looking to make it public now. I'm ready to go public with it. And in order to go public with it, then I can prove these top YouTube channels who were talking directly about me through the language. I'm now it's reciprocated and it's public. It's not my opinion. It's the facts. It's truth. What does that do? Well, it changes the lying, or it changes the concealment of the truth. All I'm doing is showing you the truth. Let's let people know what it is. Stop hiding it. I'm tired of trying to not convince people, but just they don't know yet because nothing has happened. So when I'm talking to multiple groups of people, mindsets, because I know there's a bunch of different ways that you think about things. Now, did he actually have to go to his trash can, or was he told to go to his trash because I pulled up? He probably had all day to do that, but all of a sudden you want to check your mail. Right, okay. 3 6s, right? Gotcha. Yep. Even the thought of that before that was something I went through. Look, my mind has been damaged. My skull, the Golgotha, the skull, being abused. You know how I was abused? Through the YouTube platform, I found a bunch of friends. Literally, it was like 12 of them. And I got all of their numbers. Tim Sater, Jethro Sater, Matthew Yahoo, the one who was crucifying me, Justin Sims, Andrew Pardon, Stephen James, Gary Perry, just a bunch of yous. Back then, 4 years ago, almost 5. And I felt good because I now have come across a group of people who claim to believe the same thing that I believed. And I'm the weirdest dude on the planet, and they believe me? I'm like, oh, wow. And then I got everybody's number, and we used to communicate. Derek from A Glop of Truth. And then that's when I stopped agreeing with Stephen James, the moment I disagreed with him, I sensed Satan. I'm like, wow, this is Satan. And then when I stopped communicating with him, he said I would see a train wreck, and I did. You were right, Steve. You were not lying. Failure to communicate caused a train wreck, and the YouTube towers went tumbling down. It's something I predicted too. So these are the things that are unseen behind the scenes. At a certain point, they manifest. So there you go. I'm waiting for the manifestation of everything. And I'm going to keep doing it because I know it's coming. I just know that God's leading me in this direction to just go and do what I need to. Keep showing what's there. Stop. Don't even... Who cares what Steve tries to threaten you with? If you literally get nailed to a cross because it's out front of his house, then okay. Then eventually... So you're saying I'm gonna die soon, Steve? Don't tease me, please. Don't tell me that I'm going to heaven soon after I get beat to piss. You know, pain eventually stops when you stop breathing. So if that's the worst thing that's going to happen, all right, well, that's some pretty damn good news. I hope I make it. But if not, if that cup doesn't pass, then so be it. I just see it more like in the Elijah type. Nothing happened to Elijah. He just went and met Ahab and showed him the deal, and something happened. Some type of fire came down from somewhere on a certain day. And then that's when everybody understood. Oh, wow, Robin. So you were talking about God the Spirit the entire time. You mean our boss isn't God? Look, he can be God to you, but he ain't my God. So as you can see, I am the one that's not controlled. And you couldn't control me either. Because there's a great amount of people that came after me and made videos about me. And wonderful productions, too. I mean, Steve James isn't the only one that made 1,000 videos. Tim Sater, Jeffrey Sater, Tyler Mullen, Justin Michael, Bowley, you name it. You guys, at a certain point, right around the same time, yous all pounced and did video after video after video. It was all about Robin, all about Robin. I was feeling so special. And I knew there was something to it, that these people are all involved with, like, behind the scenes of the Illuminati, the Hollywood, the government. These people have given me so much of their attention. Why? Why is that? Why is it that I can bring up 5 solid people that did about 50 videos within that month about me? And I wish I had them all, but I don't. And it's not all about me. It wasn't about me. I never made it about me. I just pushed the record button and showed you what God was showing me to show it back to you. And then I get crucified for it by the top guy that was put in charge, Matthew, to do that very thing, because he's like the best at gathering the information. I take it. I look at it like that. And then over time, like the past few years, I've shown just an astronomical amount of evidence that I'm fully awake to your system and it's being defeated. So what if that truly was what it was like? Christ being crucified on the cross was really, he was just like playing his guitar or something and just watching someone crucify him because he was the guy sent to do it at that exact time. And then for 3 hours he was doing it. And that's what Matthew did for 3 hours, crucifying Robin Henry Tees. Not Jesus Henry Christ. Robin Henry Tees crucifying me between 6:30 and 9:30, just like the 6th and the 9th hour on the 11th day in the first month of my YouTube career. From Adiyahu that had 111 subscribers that very day. After I showed up 11 years, 11 months, 11 days later, making a 111 video of Bowie, coming in with a bow like Robin Hood. That wasn't even the name of my channel. It was Bowie Merlin's Fake News because I knew everything was fake news, just like Trump said. So I came in with a bow. I'm looking to steal from the rich and give to the poor, in spirit and in the bank. You know what's kind of messed up? Halloween, was that yesterday? The day before? I forget. It rained right around, not that we were giving out candy, but it rained in the prime hours. It seemed like it just completely ruined everybody's Halloween. The rain god did it. I'm just grateful that they picked up our trash and took it away. I can always count on my neighbor to be there. Even though he had his back turned on me, turning his back on me.